Onugwitu, Anchak Totla Laishin. Hello again. This is another little tutorial on the cedar headbands. So us Quinaults, we're known for being cedar people. Everything we used to use back in the day, it had something to do with cedar. And I make these little traditional headbands. Sorry about our dog. We live on the res, so you're gonna get a lot of that. So this is our traditional headband. We use this for ceremonies, and I used to use it as a form of protection, and whenever I wore it, I really felt spiritually grounded and connected with the earth, and that's the best way to describe it for me. And it's just like a traditional piece of regalia that we always used to use, usually for potlatches and traditional events or funeral services. But I want to walk you through on how I make these. I usually make these and sell them or gift them to community members who need them for ceremonies. But I want to show you how we traditionally make them. So right now it's right around springtime. And a good indicator on when a good time to pick cedar is I was told by an elder that whenever you start to see the geese flying north, that was a good indicator that it's time to go harvest cedar, and it's time to go harvest Devil's Club, and whatever else is harvestable during this time. But I thought that was pretty cool, and the cedar is ready to go. We just pulled some last year, or we just pulled some a couple days ago, and it's still pretty green. So, but this is from last summer. You always want to use cedar that's from the previous summer, because it has sap in it, and if you try to make something right away with the cedar, it's gonna expand, and you're gonna have a hard time dealing with it. It's gonna be sticky. You're gonna have sap all over yourself. So these are our traditional tools that we used to use. This is just our cedar pounding rock. This is a rock that we found at the beach, and this is another rock. You can also use cedar on cedar. Let's say I wanted to pound this, and you can pound it cedar on cedar. That works pretty good. But this is how we do it. Is the most effective way for me. It's just you just get a rock and it's a pretty monotonous process. You have to have a lot of patience, and this will take me about 30 minutes. So I'll only show you the first portion of this, and then I'll show you the second piece in a couple of minutes, just due to time's sake in the video. So. And whenever it starts to get dry from the sun, I usually have a bucket of water here or something. And the point of pounding this is in order to get that frayed look, and in order for it to get it stronger, you have to fray it out. Because if you were just to use this cedar like this, it would eventually rip. But the design of this was used as rope back in the day. Our relatives used to use this for rope, for pulling cedar, for hauling stuff, for tying up canoes, and this was our traditional rope back in the day, and that's the design. It's a rope cedar headband. So that's what we're doing right now, is just fraying out all of this stuff. And if you want to get a little closer, you can see that it's starting to fray, and that's what we want it to look like right there. All right, so we're back with the second end of the process. So we pounded it down, and I cut it into about 1 arm length, and this is what it looks like when when it's all pounded out. After it's pounded out, you want to run through and you want to fray it out as much as you can, because the more you can get it frayed out, the more you can give it that rope effect. And once it gets twisted, it's a lot stronger. So you want to do that on the whole thing, all the way down. I've already somewhat did it on the other one. So what we're gonna do is, I grew up with a lot of sisters, so I grew up braiding my sister's hairs and stuff, so this is pretty easy. So this part, all you do is you just you get that first one going, and then you twist counterclockwise and clockwise the whole way around. And it's gonna look really frayed out, and but don't worry about that. We'll fix that one once the process is all done. And this is the exact same way that we used to make rope back in the day. And if you were to make rope this thick, this rope would be super strong. You'd probably be able to tow a canoe with it. You'd probably be able to pull a whale up for sure with this rope. And typically back in the day, the thicker the rope headband, usually the thickest ones were for chiefs. The chiefs wore the big headbands. And it necessarily doesn't mean the chief of the tribe. It can be the chief of your family, or the chief of a community, or it can vary. But this is a pretty big one, I think. So I'd like to call this one a chief headband, or an up and coming chief anyway. Alright, so we pretty much just finished up with the headband, and all I did was wrapped a piece of cedar to connect it together. And you can finish it off with some sinew, and you can wrap the sinew around there. But I leave it kind of loose, so depending on whose head it's going to be on, you want to put it on and press it onto your head, and it's going to be really uncomfortable at first, but you want to at least put it on every other day or so and kind of form it to your head, because it's going to be a snug fit. And I'm going to show you how mine fits my head. Mine fits mine pretty good, like this. And I put mine on a bunch of different times, and mine's gotten to the point where I can tighten it if I need to. And you can even stick little eagle feathers on there that are significant to you. And but I've worn mine a lot, and for a couple of years now, so mine fits pretty good. But this is what the end product would look like on somebody's head. But this is your finished product. And if you wanted to, you can you can snip the ends like that, and you can fray it out, and you could even put a piece of abalone in the center like that. But this took me about 2 hours to make, and yeah, it's a completed product, so I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.